I have a lot of friends in the Reddit community of entrepreneurship, startups, and small business. And 7 questions keeps being asked over and over. And those 7 questions are something like this: Is this a good idea or not? Is this idea good enough? How do I know if people would pay me for my idea? Uh, a lot of questions are about jobs. Should I quit my job? I really want to quit my job. Um, I want to do entrepreneurship. Should I do it? Um, there's a lot of people having good ideas. For example, somebody said, "I want to make coffee and pet store. I want to combine a baking and art gallery." Those are all wonderful ideas. Should I do it? And then there are people asking questions about job prospect. For example, uh, fresh graduates out of college, what should I do? There's a lot of entrepreneurs, including high school entrepreneurs. They made what's called MVPs, minimal viable products, and they want to offer it to get feedbacks, to get traction. So they have a lot of questions about this. The last question that people often ask is, can I get investment for it? Should I get investment for it? And so on. Those questions are very important, and they are actually all related to the entrepreneurship uh, complex. And I want to use the shortest amount of time to give a concise answer. A lot of questions are related to timing. Okay, how long should it take to make a MVP? I have worked on this for a while. Um, should I go ask a bunch of strangers online if they like it? When should I start to collect feedback? When do I ask for opinions and feedback? So those questions are all related, and people make some very big assumptions about entrepreneurship. People assume that if an idea is good, it will go a long way. So people keep on refining the idea. People assume that if someone provides a solution to a problem, then they are sure to find a stranger who will pay for the solution. A lot of entrepreneurs know vaguely that there's a bunch of customers out there, but they don't know how to connect them. They don't know that there is a mountain in between them and the customer. The mountain is called marketing, the mountain is called technology and quality control, and so on and so forth. They just know that magically somebody might be able to hand them a bunch of money, and they don't know exactly how this goes, and they have a lot of guesswork involved. So the bad sequence that a lot of people think is that you come up with a good problem to solve, and many people call that a idea. Oh, I have an idea about a problem. Then they think of a solution. Obviously, it's going to work, and then they make something along that line of the solution, and they just decided that if I find someone who will take it, and I will charge it properly, namely not too greedy, I might be able to sell it. And they think the buyers would appear magically. They think that investors would somehow appear magically. None of that is true. Okay, a lot of people have questions about ideas. Is this a good idea, or so on and so forth. In fact, they don't understand a lot about ideas. Okay, ideas is like sand grains on a beach. Most of them is not worth anything, but they are all very beautiful. An idea that is completely new is actually very dangerous. All the investors know that because you have to access the customer, you have to educate them. There's a whole bunch of things. Okay, just because you like new things doesn't mean that customers like new things. And many ideas have been done before are not there by accident. Namely, a lot of ideas that has not been done are basically bad ideas. And they're not just because they are bad, but because they were not timely. A lot of ideas are not bad. They're not good because they're not timely. So a lot of people wish, and they have a wishful thinking, and they think outside of the market and outside of the industry. And that's not a good way to get any good ideas. Okay. In fact, every idea is good. All right. Um, most of them are not new. Most of the ideas that people talk about in the Reddit community, they are not new. They have been done before. And the rest are just too ahead of the time. And then the ones that are just in the Goldilocks zone of not old and not new needs implementation, needs you to hustle and fight for that. A lot of people have questions about when to get an investor. You know, those are the questions. I don't want to spend all the time talking about the questions. Uh, I, what do the investors want? The investors only want their money returned in multiples. So they want to see a growing business at the starting phase. They don't want to see a growing business at a mature phase, and they don't want to see a new business at the start phase. A good business have both high ceilings and has tractions. Uh, they know how hard it is to make something new stick. So they want a sure team. Most of the investors would only fund people who are doing this for the second time. And 3 times the returns in 2 years is pretty standard for VCs so that they can flip you to the next round of investors. Traction means that people will pay. We see people paying everywhere all the time, but traction is very rare. Traction is a big deal. Having people pay you outside of a salary, outside of work, is very rare. It's very difficult. And the startup business have nothing to do with your knowledge, whether you're a professor or a college well-educated person, or has anything to do with smart. It's about know-how. Know-how is not knowledge. Know-how is knowing how to make something, not how something works. And knowledge about a market sector, not about something in general. So people, no matter how well educated they are, they always forget that you can never guess, never wish, never hope, never project, and never say, I'm very sure. Okay? And a lot of people want to solve a problem. Solving a problem is not a good way to think. Here are the reasons. I don't want to spend time. How to make an impact as a young person. You want to provide value. Okay, that's the first line. We'll come back to this over and over again. I'm using this slide as a lead in for many of future talks to address those issues. Ultimately, startup is making the old new. It's not making something new, it's making the old new. Hence, it's risky. Hence, it's called entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. See you in the next episodes.